Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk a couple of things. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the deposition in which obviously Samantha Markle has deposed Harry and Meghan. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm also going to just talk a little bit about I watched this film. It's called Alice Darling, and it's about this woman who has a relationship with a guy, and he's very abusive, but psychologically. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So yeah, so if you want to so it's kind of like a little bit of a two-part video on this Friday, hopefully going into the weekend, that might help you. So if you want to join me in this video, and if you don't know what to do by now, you should, but it's grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, whether it be water, which I am drinking today because I am using my bottle, and I am now, I've actually I'm at 11 a.m. Actually, it's past 11 a.m. so I'm not keeping up with my water. Oops. But I should. But yes, or whether you would like to add a little something to that drink of choice, because as I often say, no, I always say it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So grab that drink, let's dive right in. So for those of you who do miss my waffle, and I do appreciate that, I do try, and I was trying to find the winning formula of this when you do the videos, and you can't please everybody. I have learned that a lot over the sort of year and a bit of doing this now on my own. But I just want to say one thing, that TikTok is the bane of my life right now. I have, unfortunately, in my spare time, got sucked into the vortex that is the TikTok shop. And honestly, I think I just need to, because I'm not on there as in like any official capacity, because I'm sure that most of you by now have realised, if you did follow me, that suddenly I've gone poof, disappear. And that's because I got targeted. I got targeted because I did a video on Harry and Meghan, and of course they it's a free-for-all. If I thought it was bad on YouTube, well, it's incredibly bad on TikTok. So I have to go back to the drawing board and think about what I'm going to do, because I just can't be bothered with the drama. And battling the just atrocious comments that come through. So yeah, so I'm going to have a think about that. But so I do have almost like an account on there, but I can still look at things. I'm just not doing anything. So of course, yes, I've got sucked into the vortex of the TikTok shop, and some things I think are quite good and some things not so much. So yeah, so at some point along the way, when I start doing my beauty channel with a friend of mine, which we will hopefully be starting in April, because I really am wanting to set up my true crime channel first. I'm just waiting on, I'm just very particular. And so the intro, that, because I know so many of you are saying, where's the true crime channel? When is it coming? I want to make sure that I do this right. So the intro that is going to be coming up with the true crime, they send me things, I'm not happy with it. So I'm a little bit particular. So as soon as that gets the green light from me, my first video is ready to go. So I just want to make sure that I do this right. So bear with me, people. It is coming, I promise you. It's just my own fault, because I just want it to be very particular. So the first part of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Samantha Markle case that has been dominating the news a little bit lately. And I am so pleased for her that she is fighting back. I cannot imagine not only as a person, but as a family, what they have had to endure since Meghan has come into the royal family. Now, obviously, I look at a lot of the comments that people make. Why are my glasses always wonky? I felt maybe I've got a wonky face. I look at a lot of the comments, and of course, you know, you see both sides. You see the people that are very for and people that are very sort of against, and some people that are in the middle, or they just don't really have an opinion one way or the other, which is fine. But what I love is the fact that Meghan apparently tried to shut this down. She did not want Harry specifically to be deposed. And fabulously, the judge said, no, we're going to allow this to go ahead. Now, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Why would, if Meghan had nothing to worry about, if she believed, as she says, you know, she cannot be held accountable for her own opinion, in saying that it felt like to her not growing up with siblings. That's not exactly what she said, though. She really did, on the Oprah interview, create the illusion of Meghan, so sorry, Samantha, that Samantha wasn't there at all. And not only that, created the story of that apparently as soon as she got with Harry, that she changed her name back to Markle, that Samantha supposedly decided to capitalize on the Markle name, even though that's her father's name. And of course, Samantha has come out and proven that no, that's not the case. I actually changed my name back to Markle well before she even got with Harry. And I think that this really, you know, if we didn't know already, we know that the type of personality that Meghan has, like, she wanted to disparage this family. And I think, to me, that goes a long way back prior to the wedding, because she was dating Harry for 2 years prior to the wedding. And so we have to ask, why did Harry never meet? He met Doria, but why did he never meet Thomas? Now, I've said before that it's my belief that she told Harry, and again, this is just opinion, but going with what I know about narcissistic personality types, and in a way kind of what we've heard from Lady C, I absolutely do believe that she told Harry that she had been in an abusive family. And it is also very possible that she has told Harry that her father did something. Now, okay, we don't know this for sure, and maybe that will come out in the deposition. I don't know. I don't know how far back this is kind of going to go, or how detailed this is going to go. But it would be interesting to find out exactly what has been said in regards to the family, and whether or not Harry will actually tell the truth, because we all know that Meghan's quite capable of lying on the stand. So will Harry lie on the stand and think his family would protect him? And it's possible that maybe, given that I believe it's possible that Meghan had a little bit of protection in that previous court case, that she got away with what she did, that they possibly think this is going to happen again. And they probably didn't think it was going to go as far as what it has. So I am of the opinion that she lied to Harry to create this fabricated story of, you know, I've come from a very terrible family, and I feel that, you know, you need to rescue me in some way. And like I say, this is very conducive to this type of personality. They will lie about absolutely anything, and to the point where even if you call them out on their lies, they will gaslight you into actually believing that their version is the truth. And even if they're caught out on it, that you shouldn't even be questioning them, they will still somehow create you to believe that you're in the wrong for questioning them and their story. So I do absolutely believe that she's done something quite heinous, and in telling Harry a pack of lies for when she first got with him. And to be honest, I would probably say that she's kind of stuck to that to a point. Now, we are now talking, is it, you know, when they got together, is it 2016? So we are now talking 6-7 years ago now. So I am of the belief that, like I've said to you before, I don't believe they are officially together. I think they are now in a business relationship. I think they come together when it's needed for to create the illusion that they are together, or for any contractual things that they have still outstanding. But I do not believe that they are living together, and I've explained why. And if you haven't seen this, I will put a link in the description box below of the video that I did regarding this, because when you have these two types of personalities, there is no way that they can live in a relationship together harmoniously. It's just not possible. They are too volatile, too explosive. Both have their own destructive kind of buttons that they would be pushing with each other. So, you know, unless they're living in a property where that, you know, that's so huge. And I've also said that I don't believe they're in this so-called mansion. But anyway, so yes, I do think that this would have happened, and I think that that is why, in a way, she's kind of gone along with this lie, because she's had to go along with this lie, because this is exactly what she's told Harry. So when they're sitting in front of Oprah and Oprah's asking these questions, I'd imagine, knowing this type of personality, the way she is why I believe she's carried on this lie, because at this point the credibility of the family has been just damaged beyond anything that they probably ever would have imagined, publicly, privately, I'd imagine. And albeit now that a lot of people are probably looking at this and thinking, you know what, that this family were absolutely right about her. And if they've lied about Harry's family, then what else have they lied about? So everything gets brought into question. So I then believe that she probably didn't think that Samantha, A, had the money or the means or the tenacity to take this further. But she has. And here we are. And I think, you know, and in some ways, I think that the docuseries actually damaged them, because they actually had a certain person on there talking about his relationship with them. And yet he's been very, very vocal on Twitter in going after people, myself included. So I think this has damaged them even further. So now here we have Samantha actually fighting back and saying, hang on a minute, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have you lying publicly. And the amount of hatred that has ensued for this family has been diabolical. And I think good on her for fighting back, because this is not easy. It's almost like a David and Goliath type situation, because you have this little family that have been thrown to the wolves with zero protection. And Harry and Meghan have allowed this to happen. Because regardless whether or not the royal family said, you know, you come on, you know, you need to sort this out, they are the ones that should have absolutely made sure that this family were protected. Because Harry, in his own words, has said how terrible the media can be. And what's also interesting is that Harry has been forever saying the media lie, the media are manipulative, the media do this, the media do that. Oh, but when apparently it comes out that that Meghan's father has done something in the media, suddenly they believe the fact that he's orchestrated this to get back at Meghan. Suddenly they believe that. So which is it, Harry and Meghan? Which is it? Either the media lie and they're manipulative, or they are not and they tell the truth. You can't cherry pick what suits your narrative, which is what they've actually done. When it comes to things that is in the media about them that's negative, that's all lies. But when something positive comes out, that's the truth. And this is what happens with their fan base. Their fan base do exactly the same thing. When something comes out that's negative, oh, that's a lie. The media are lying again, or it's the royal family doing this. But when it's something positive, oh my gosh, look how amazing Harry and Meghan are. That's the truth. They're just such an amazing people. They're so amazing. Look at all the good stuff they do. Oh, that's okay. That's believable. But when it's something negative, no, it's a lie. And so then when they accuse us of doing the very same thing, you know, all I say to them is, well, where do you get your information from? Because if you're saying that all we're doing is being influenced by the media, the negative reports in the media, then where do you get your information from? Because unless you are literally there with Harry and Meghan following them around, you have no clue what's the truth or what's not the truth, as much as perhaps we don't. But when they see these stories like with the royal family, negative stories about the royal family, oh, there they are believing all those negative stories. Oh, but a negative story about Harry and Meghan is all lies. Positive media, oh, that's just the royal family trying to overshadow Harry and Meghan and all the good they do. But when good stuff comes out about Harry and Meghan, oh no, they're allowed to do that. That's perfectly fine. It's like the fan base try and gaslight you as much as Harry and Meghan try and gaslight you. Now, I'm not saying the media, that, the news and stuff like that, the stuff that we see is all kosher. Of course we know it's not. But Harry also knows this, and he utilises that media when it suits him. And he also utilises it to, in a way, push this narrative of how bad the media is, and then create the very problem with the fan base, who then start coming out with this huge hate campaign against whoever this story is about, and the royal family, or in this case, Samantha Markle, her father and her brother. And we have seen this, which I have said is like a cult-like mentality, where they all band together and they start putting out very private information, things about your past. They will go to great lengths to attack somebody. So if somebody comes out and says something, they will go to great lengths to try and expose that person, discredit that person. And I've had it done to me. Sorry, I just realised my phone is about to die of charge. I'm just going to plug it in. And I have had this, I've had this done to me, and I'm small fry. So I can imagine how devastating this has been for Samantha and her family. The way they have trashed them on not only the things that have been said about them in the media, but the things that have been said about them on social media. And that Harry and Meghan are okay with this, because regardless, even if, let's say, for example, that she didn't have the best upbringing, even though we know that's not true, how can you be so okay with your family being attacked the way it has been? How, that to me speaks volumes. This shows you the type of people they are, because there they are attacking the royal family for not speaking up for them, not protecting them, in their words. But yet, what have they actually done to protect Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle, Thomas Jr. Markle? What have they actually done to protect this family? Where are the statements put out? Regardless of my relationship with my family, please, I ask you to stop attacking them. Please, to the people that follow us or our fans, please, I ask you, stop attacking them. These are human beings. Has there been any of that? Because I haven't seen any. I haven't seen one statement that I know of has been put out to stop the attack of her father and her sister. You know, her father, who's had multiple heart attacks, strokes, he's been in hospital multiple times. Did she go and see him? No, but she could go to Uvalde and do a little photo op there, but she couldn't go and see her ailing father and put that to bed. And the reason I believe that she's dug her heels in is because she's terrified of the truth coming out. And I think that is why she's tried to depose Samantha. Sorry, not depose Samantha, try to stop Samantha from doing this. She's terrified of Harry either exposing the truth or being exposed to the truth. So this is going to be very interesting in my opinion. And to be honest, I think this is a way of Samantha being able to, because there's always going to be people that are still not going to believe Samantha. But I think for her, this is her getting her voice out there. This, you know, for someone like Meghan, who's such a pretend feminist of, you know, your voice matters. Oh, your voice matters until it's actually against you, and then your voice doesn't matter. So Samantha's voice in her eyes doesn't matter. Samantha's not allowed her truth, even though that's, you know, it's, you know, subjective. No, Samantha and Thomas and everybody, they're not allowed theirs, but oh, she can have hers, and so can Harry. They can put things out in a book, trashing and slating people, exposing everyone else's privacy, but oh, lo and behold, they can't have that coming back at them. The hypocrisy, in my opinion, with these two is just beyond measure. And I, for one, am here for this court case, and I hope, everything crossed, I hope that Samantha gets her day in court, and I hope that she gets the results that she wants, that she needs, because she deserves nothing less than a positive outcome and to be heard and to be vindicated from these two who have just been hell-bent on damaging this family. And even though I don't know Samantha privately, I'm proud that she, as a fellow woman, I'm also proud that she's speaking out about this, and she's had the courage to do it, because it's not easy going up against someone like her, let alone with someone like her being married into the royal family. And I hope that the royal family are standing behind Samantha. I really do, because this family deserve that. They deserve peace. And I hope they get it anyway. So, and that kind of leads me into what I was going to discuss in regards to this film. It's called Alice Darling. And yeah, before that, just let me know what you think in the comments in regards to this court case. Do you know, what are your thoughts? And if you like this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. I've had people say to me, you need to say this in the middle, not just at the end, because some people switch off, which is true, they do. So please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because that would also help the algorithm and you don't miss future uploads. So yeah, so I wanted to give a little bit about this going into the weekend, because I was watching this film and I was really struck by one comment, and I thought this is something that I have heard so often with clients, is if you are not physically abused, it's almost as if you don't class it as abuse. And there's one moment in this film where she says that her two friends, who are amazing, by the way, and we could all use friends like this, her two friends are talking to her about, she finally opens up and tells them about what he's been doing. And she looks at them and she says, you know, he doesn't hit me. You know, he's not physical. And you just sort of see the way the two friends sort of look at each other. And it's that moment that you can kind of see them. It's almost like the unspoken word, where they are looking at her as if to say, this is how she views this. It's, you know, he's not physical with her, so it's almost like it can't be abuse. And I'm not just going to say this is about women, because men can be abused too. And I say this when I talk about these things. This is not just about women. Men can suffer with this type of abuse as well. And a lot of the time men really don't see it, because there is shame in the fact that a woman has, I guess, got them to this point in their life where they are being abused, and so they don't even want to acknowledge the fact that this is happening. Abuse can come in many, many forms. And I think one of the hardest to recognize is if you are with somebody who does it psychologically. And the reason being is because a lot of the time, even if you're not coming from a place of abuse, they start so subtly, and they do it in such a way that they almost make it out as if they're doing it to for your own good. Like they're trying to help you. Doing it, and they'll say the things like, I'm only doing it because I love you. I'm only saying that because I love you. And if you don't really have another frame of reference, you could potentially believe this is true. And so you will start changing your behavior. And I think this is one of the things I found. I mean, I got really upset watching this film, not because I was triggered, because I've worked, I mean, I've been in abusive relationships, and I have worked on myself enough, but I feel it because I know that I'm working with people right now that are struggling with this, or I know that there are people out there that are going through this. There are young people that have just started to get into relationships, that wonderful innocence of, this is my first relationship, and unfortunately that first relationship is one like this, and they genuinely don't see it. So I want to say to you, I'm sorry, my glasses are actually winding me up. They keep, I don't know why they keep going wonky. Now they're wonky that side. But I want to say to you is, you deserve, no matter who's watching this, you deserve the absolute best in a relationship, in a friendship, with family even. If you don't believe in that in yourself, then it's going to be very difficult for you to see the signs of when this can potentially happen. If someone is creating you to feel that everything you do is wrong, that's a problem. If you can self-check yourself, and you can acknowledge things within yourself that you think, you know what, these are things about myself that I don't particularly like, and this is genuine. These are not things that other people have told you. These are genuine, because if somebody tells you you're doing something wrong, if you don't believe you are, then challenge it. It doesn't mean to say that there are not things that you don't compromise on, because of course we all have to do that to a degree, but challenge it. If you don't see it and somebody else does, or they're telling you, then say, why? Why is this a problem for you? Because I'm not seeing it. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody that's a good person, that's not to say that they can't raise awareness to things, but that's when a conversation will happen. And you can genuinely tell when someone does it in a very caring way. This person won't be doing it that way. It's almost as if it's like they want you to change. They want you to be the version they want you to be. If you don't want to change, then don't. And it might just be that that relationship isn't the right one for you, so you then find one that is. But trust in yourself. First and foremost, believe that you are worth everything. You are worth finding the right relationship for. You are worth someone fighting for you. And not only that, you are worth fighting for yourself. So if you have somebody in your life right now that is really creating you to feel low, miserable, doubt yourself, then I would say really hand on heart, question that relationship or friendship. A healthy challenge is different. You know, we can challenge our friendships. We can challenge each other. There is nothing wrong with that. But that shouldn't come with where you hit that place where you're anxious, you're scared, you're really putting yourself down and having those real self-doubts all the time. If you're finding yourself doing that and you're in a relationship, that is something to really question. Self-worth is very hard to find especially if you're coming from a place of trauma. But it is worth finding. And so what I would say is spend that time by yourself. Work on yourself first. Please, please, no matter who you are, do not get into a relationship with someone out of need. Get into a relationship with someone out of a desire to be in a relationship because it will enhance your life as it is. And that person is lucky to be with you as much as you're lucky to be with them. If someone hasn't worked on their stuff before getting into that relationship with you, then don't be in that relationship with them, because especially if it comes from deep-rooted stuff, because what you'll find, especially if you're somebody that's a carer, you will start trying to take care of them. And I mean in a way that your own needs and desires get put to one side while you take care of their needs and desires. A person ideally needs to get in touch with themselves and work on their stuff before they think about bringing that into a relationship with somebody else. That's not to say that you won't still get affected by things, but those are things that you can work on with the partner or with your friend, and you can kind of grow more together healthily. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about more deep-rooted things. But most importantly, if someone is creating you to have that self-doubt, or they're creating you to feel less than the amazing person that you are, get out. Because no one has the right to do that. And if you're telling yourself that, then what you need to be doing is working on being your own best friend. Because if you wouldn't tell somebody else that, why are you telling it to yourself? Now, I know this is a bit of a short version, but it was just something that kind of made me think about it because of the stuff with Samantha and the things that perhaps were being said about their family, and I thought, you know what, and then I watched this film and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit about this, because it makes me so sad when I hear how people put themselves down. It really, really does. It hurts my heart. And even as a therapist, I'm not made of, stone. I still feel things. And I think if nothing else, the main thing I want for people when I work with them is to really believe in themselves and see how worthy they are. You're worth the world. Your children are worth the world, and if you're in a relationship with someone that doesn't see that value of what you bring to the table, then I would question why you're with them. Believe in yourself, and like I say, be your own best friend. So I hope that helps in some way, and I will do more videos on this. I appreciate the fact that some of my therapy videos have gone to the wayside because I do talk about Harry and Meghan, but I do still try to bring the therapeutic side of this in to really give awareness to narcissistic relationships and how damaging they really can be, and how we can get really enveloped in those type of relationships. They are deeply destructive, but please don't be under the illusion that just because a relationship, if there's no physical abuse, that it's not abuse. Coercive control, manipulation, gaslighting, these are all very, very real things, and they can create psychological warfare and can really affect the way you think about yourself and others and the world around you. It's very real, and that abuse is very, very destructive. So yes, so I hope, like I say, that that's given you something to think about going into the weekend. And I hope that, like I say, if you know anyone of that, please reach out to them. Don't let this person suffer in silence. Even if they say they don't want your help, just be there. on the sidelines. Even if they don't want to believe it right now or see it right now, at some point they will see it. And so don't give up on that person. Just, you know, just like I say, just be there on the sidelines, because honestly, this film, it's called Alice, Darling. There's a moment where these two friends, they support her and they get her out of that situation, and they didn't even need to say anything. This unspoken word of these two friends who are basically between her, basically saying, we've got you. And that's all they needed to do, is just be there. And you can just tell it's a very powerful scene in this film. And I suggest, if you haven't seen this film, it can be a bit triggering, so be aware of that. But if you haven't seen it, it's a very good film and worth watching. So that's it for me. It's going into the weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are planning on doing, and I will see you next week back with a new video. If you have anything in the meantime that you'd like me to cover, please don't forget to put that in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you would like to subscribe so you do not miss future uploads, please do. Everything you need to know about following me is in the description box of these videos below, where you can follow me on Instagram, on Rumble. You can, if you would like to treat me to a cup of tea as a thank you for this video, or to support me where I am working with people. I have a select few spaces for clients that I work with for free. They don't pay me a single penny because they struggle financially. I am at the moment fully booked, but as soon as the space becomes available, I do have a little bit of a waiting list, but as soon as a space becomes available, I take on a new person. So if you'd like to help me by paying it forward, you can buy me a cup of tea, because it all helps in going towards me being able to do this. As this channel grows, I will be hopefully taking on more clients, but unfortunately, as most of you know, we have bills to pay, so I can only take on a select few, but each time one person finishes up, I take on another one. If you'd like to buy some of my merchandise, the link is also below. If you would like to send me something, which some of you do, then please, you know, if you want to send me a letter or a card, there is a PO box, which is also in the description box below. Yeah, so pretty much everything you need. If you want to send me an email, that's also there. And yeah, so thank you so much for your support. My numbers are growing and I'm so proud of you all. Thank you for being here. You mean so much to me. And as you know, I always sign this off with, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care, Bubble family. Bye.